Hey, how are you doing, everyone? Welcome to week August the 21st. Yes, this year is really just flying by. Okay, all right. So let's see what's going on this week in the astrological world. All right, it's a very busy week, actually. There's lots of aspects going on. So a lot of planetary interactions, and there's just an abundance of stuff that's happening. So let's get started and see what's going on. All right. So, however, before we delve into it, I want to remind you that this is a sun sign report. And after the planetary report that I go through, and then I will be going through as usual and doing the individual signs. And you can go down the bottom here and just have a look at and get your time code so you can go along to your sign. All righty. And the sun sign report is always valuable, never ceases to amaze me how accurate just the sun sign report is. However, the real secret source and the magic comes from your personal natal chart. All right. So if you've never had a natal chart, reading before, it's really just a once in a lifetime experience. I mean, it reveals so much information, and what I love about chart readings is that analysis and looking at the whole astrological profile is that it really just shows you who you are, and more than that, it's like it gives you permission to love yourself, because hey, that's what my chart, that's my zodiac DNA. So, this is me, no apologies and no excuses. And I just feel that's like one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves. Excuse me, self-development, and just to know who we are and to know our preferences. I've done a lot of work over the years on this level, and it certainly helped me a lot just to build my confidence and just to stand in my personal power space and to move forward. So yeah. All right. So first of all, this week, Venus and Jupiter are going to be in a square aspect, which of course, yes, a square is traditionally challenging. However, when it's between Venus and Jupiter, not so much, it's a lot softer. I do feel that these two send a message of a combination of being idealistic. I love being idealistic because that's when you get your imagination sort of running and rolling, and you're thinking about things and trying to put them together, coming up with unique ideas. But then, the Saturn, it comes into here as well this week, and anything to do with Saturn brings us back to our logic. So, you really want to just sort of have a combination of being idealistic and realistic. And, here's the thing, you can do anything that you want, okay? Just perhaps not all at once. That's and I really understand this because I came in with the South Node Gemini, so I want to do everything, and with the Gemini energy, it's hard to pace yourself because you do want to do everything, and here's the thing, you can, just not straight away. Okay, so with this aspect, you want to just pace yourself. It just helps us pace ourselves, work towards the end goal step by step, and just go a little slower. When there's a retrograde, and we've got like some retrograde happening this week, it just like slows things down. It reminds us just to take a step back and work through things and finish them, okay? And this is because there's a few things that are happening with Mars this week as well. That point about finishing things, like taking it step by step through to the end and finish it, is really important because you know, guess what? Sometimes we don't do that. And it can be like, oh, is it getting too hard? Do we not believe in ourselves? Do we take on too much? So you want to sort of work out, you know, if you're one of those people that like to just start things and not finish, then maybe you need to collaborate with somebody else. And, you know, you're the ideas person and they're the person that gets it all together and brings it home. So, you know, like, as my mentor John Nasser has said, you got to figure out, can you know, this is what you need to do. Can you do it yourself, or do you need help doing it? Okay, we all need help doing some things, right? All right, so moving on. So on the 23rd, the sun is going to move its energy, move its way from the lavish sign of Leo and into the more subdued sign of Virgo. Okay, so this is one of the signs that Mercury rules. It rules two signs, Virgo and Gemini. And so it's a really positive placement when, you know, when Mercury, regardless of whether it's retrograde or not, when it's in one of the signs that it rules, then it's a really positive energy. Okay, and so it's going to go, Mercury will go retrograde. Okay, so we're at that time again, happens 3 or 4 times a year, and so midweek now. Traditionally, this is like a 3-week transit. That's without taking into consideration what's called the shadow transit, which happens before and after the actual transit. Watch out for my Mercury retrograde report. I'll do that next week and have more explanation about what that actually means. Okay. All right. So, but you know, with a Mercury retrograde, you want to take advantage of this for just getting things done and get down to business. And you can make a lot of headway during this time, you know, to work behind the scenes, to strategize, get things into place, because, you know, Mercury is the thinking planet. Virgo likes to get organized and get routines in, get a process in. Most things in life that we do, particularly for business, is we need to get a process. This is what it looks like. This is what we do, step 1 through to whatever, how many steps, all right? All right, so at the same time, pretty well, Mars, which is the planet of motivation, will trine with, in a trine aspect with Pluto. Now, the trine is like an easy passage. It opens up a path of least resistance, all right? And it's thought to be like a meant to be type aspect. However, my experience is even though it indicates that's like it's a destined or semi-destined type of aspect, it always needs your energy. It always needs our energy in it. And, you know, in that case, you know, it needs us to say, yes, we want that, or yes, I recognize that's what I want to do. And then you just go after it. Making that decision is sometimes the hardest point, but it's a starting point, okay? I mean, otherwise it can just as easily pass you by if you're not paying attention, all right? And then later on the week, over the weekend of the 26th and the 27th, the sun is going to be in opposition to Saturn. There's the Saturn. I knew Saturn was coming up somewhere, right? So this is a trigger point to get things done because Saturn is in Pisces. So it brings a message, trust your instincts, which is the Pisces energy, and pay attention to intuition as well as your logical senses. And that logical part comes from Saturn, all right? And, you know, and at the same time, the action-orientated energy of Mars. So, you know, Mars is motivational, it's impulsive, it likes to get down to action, and that's going to move from Virgo to the cardinal sign of Libra. Now, in this position, although Mars will work well with the Libra cardinal energy of stepping out and making things happen, getting things done. It also can cause a great deal of frustration because Mars, as I said, it's impulsive energy and it wants to push forward. It wants to do it. It wants to do it now. Okay. Libra, on the other hand, wants to sort of step back, take their time, think through the pros and cons, doesn't like to be sort of rushed or, forced in or pressured into making a decision before they feel right about it. So this is where that sort of frustration comes in. So you want to recognize that, and then you want to have a look at what's going on. If someone is pressuring you to get things done on their time schedule, then you want to ask yourself, is it important for you to work with them for them to achieve their deadline? Or is it really more important for you to set some boundaries and to tell them, what, I can do this in this time frame? Now, of course, only you can answer that. All right, you have to make up your mind, what priority level that is for you to. I mean, of course, if you're doing something for your boss, then, I've always found it useful to work to your boss's time schedule, not your own, So, of course, every situation has its variables. All right, so have a great week. And before I get on to the individual report for the 12 signs, I just want to highlight to you that my Life Purpose Mastery 8-week course, online course, is now available. I'll put the link down below, but it's on jenniferangel.com in the programs page. It's a great course for anybody who wants to just get back into the workforce. Or anybody who just wants a restart, if you're reinventing yourselves, you're pivoting to a new area, where you just wants to kickstart your life. And gives a great deal of clarity. You get your goals set. We look at your values. We look at how you're starting your day so you can stay inspired, keep a positive mindset, and just move forward and make things happen, okay? And break all your goals down into smaller action parts, and you look at your resistance level. So yeah, it's quite an extensive course. It's an 8-week course if you do one module a week. All right, so if you want to know more about that, as I said, go and have a look on the website, or I'll put down the bottom too. If you want to discuss it, then you can book a discovery call with me. Okay. All right, so on to the signs. Right, so Aries, so development at work can literally change your life now, Aries, okay? And, as life is destined to get busy, you don't want to neglect your overall health and well-being during this time, okay? So it's a balance between just getting things done and focusing on yourself, because guess what? Working around the clock can just cause stress and anxiety. And when you've got stress and anxiety, slows everything down, and it sort of like blocks that momentum. Concerning love, someone from the past can reappear. I hope that's nice. Taurus, so be careful not to make assumptions before you have the full story, Taurus, particularly when it concerns anything to do around your home life or family members. So life can be, really busy during this time, and it would be wise just to be a little more strict with your time. Set boundaries up on what you will and won't do. If you work from home, you want to put like a do not disturb door, or have like a, when the door is closed, a rule, don't come in, I'm busy. Whatever that means to you, to get that sort of set. You want to also aim to keep company with people who have a positive attitude. I know that goes without saying, but you know, you with the Venus and Jupiter connection, then it's and because that is a square this month, it's really important for you just to have that and keep that mindset going. You might want to have a look at the Life Purpose Mastery course, 8-week course, covers all of that. Okay, I'm going to put the link down below for you to look at that. Okay, so Gemini, your instincts right now, Gemini, will tell you if someone is telling the truth or not. Okay, so just trust your intuition. All right, and you get that little sort of spark, and you go, yeah, I think that's a bit of a story. Probably is. All right. Now, a situation around your home environment can be quite urgent this week. All right. So you want to just keep your schedule flexible. If someone reaches out and needs you, you want to, you know, step up and be there for them. So be mindful to balance your time this week between your social life and your work life. They're going to both demand your attention, and you're going to want to be there for both of those areas, okay? Okay, so Cancer, if a money matter is delayed, don't stress, okay? So it'll work itself out. So there's like a little glitch there, particularly if it's to do with friends, it'll come through, it will work itself out. So a creative project can get ahead, you know, the go ahead right now too. And with love, if you have something to say, then just find the right moment to communicate so you have the other person's full attention. All right. Don't say something if it's important. Don't say it in passing. Book a meeting, you know, book a time. I want to talk to you about something. So then you're like face to face. All right. Okay. So Leo, you're in a lucky phase right now, Leo, with your career. So if a promised development is delayed, don't lose hope, okay? It's going to come through. And it's important just to do what's right for you right now, whether it's to do with your professional life or your personal life. But you also want to spend some time looking after yourself, you know, your inner self, which is your mind, body, soul, your mind, body, spirit. So, you know, let's just say the mind is mindfulness, positive affirmations, body, get out there, get moving, and the soul, do some meditation, you know, or some, once again, mindfulness. All right. Okay, so Virgo, your ruler, a planet Mercury is going retrograde this month. It's not one of my most favorite transits, but it is really helpful. And because it is in your sign, then it's very comfortable here. And it's going to be a time that you're going to be able to transition. You're going to be able to reevaluate, review, reset your goals. It's a great time for planning, getting things done behind the scenes. Okay. It's what my mentor, John Asraf, says, you know, spending time getting ready to make money. Okay, sometimes we have to sort of get organized before we can make money, whether you're, you know, an entrepreneur or working for yourself, or whether you're looking for a job, or you got to get things sort of organized. So keep your eye on money matters during this time. You don't want to be being impulsive. Make it a habit to save things. And you know, in this case, this is a great time for you to pivot into other areas and just to make some progress. All right. Now, Libra, in the near future, Libra, the planet Mars, it's going to put some pressure on you just to get more done than is humanly possible. So Mars right at the end of the week, over the weekend, is going to move into your sign. So, you know, right through this week, it's still in the sign before you, which makes your instincts sharp. All right. So pay attention to your inner wisdom, your intuition, that gut feel, whatever you want to call it. And then as Mars moves into your sign, it's like get organized. It's going to be busy. All right. So ensure you are productive. Don't try to do everything yourself. So instead, set priorities and ask for help. All right. Stay close to family during this time as well as usual. It could be that someone may need your attention. All right. Scorpio, so if there's a clash between your relationships and your responsibilities, you will need to work smarter, Scorpio, just to cater to everyone's needs, okay? So you're a very strategic person, very capable. So it's like, go through your calendar, like, does this need to be done today? What about that? What about that? Can I reschedule? Can I postpone? Perhaps you can even cancel some things, all right? So just work a bit smarter with your time. Now, your social calendar is full as well. So if you can plan in advance, you'll be able to get almost everything done on your chart, because there's a lot of social activity going on too. So, you know, it's not all about responsibility. So the more organized you are, the more you'll be able to get done. Okay, so Sagittarius, your work life has new development. Oh, yeah. And this is a very exciting time. Mercury is going to go retrograde, and so this is a great time to get things organized. However, don't rush into anything without first doing your own research and fact finding. And guess what? When Mercury is retrograde, that's a perfect time for researching and fact finding. So make good use of that transit, and make sure that you operate ethically with full integrity, okay, especially when it concerns money. All right. Okay, so Capricorn, if you're struggling between what you feel you should do and what you desire to do, or you don't really know what you desire to do, you just know you're not really happy doing what you're doing, then, you know, it's best to find out, you know, spend a little bit of time this week and over the next weekend and this weekend thinking about what is it I really want to do. Like, what is it that I love to do? Because if you want to change your life, then you have to change what you do, or change your attitude, change something, because keep doing the same thing, you're not going to get a different result, right? Learn that the hard way. All right. So, you know, and people ask me, you know, what's the recipe for being happy? Well, the recipe to be happy is to find out what makes you happy and just do more of it. All right. And that's part of, you know, what I'm going to encourage us Capricorns to focus on and do this week. So a monetary opportunity that crosses your path can also be very positive during this time. And a situation probably will require some give and take. So there's some negotiation happening here. It's a great opportunity. So you don't want to sit on things for too long, but it may not come just tied up in a little pack with a bow. You may have to do a little sort of negotiation with it to get it how you want, and to make sure that it's a win-win for everyone. Okay. All right. So Aquarius, if you have a situation around your home environment and a relationship is challenging, then you want to avoid going down memory lane too much and getting stuck into the past. Some battles they're just simply not worth fighting. You just got to let it go and say, well, you know, that is what it was like then. This is how it is now, and say la vie, you know. If it's about money, before you do and say anything, get your facts right. Okay. So make sure you do your research. Make sure you have, you have the details, you know exactly how things have gone down. So a couple of things can happen when you get clear and you get the facts and do your research. You may think about it differently. Okay, if it's a monetary situation, you may get some blessings out of it. You may, find the gratitude that's going to release any sort of hurt and stuff that you're holding on to. And, you know, it may just let you know how you're going to move forward from this point. All right. And Pisces. So when it's about your choices for love and close relationships, I mean, and, you know, often Pisces are, let's say, scared of getting into a relationship, because if you've been like had your heart stumbled on, you know, and who hasn't, it can take a while for Pisces to trust if you ever do, totally. So you want to like not close off to love, but you know, don't allow those love lessons to stop you from embracing love in the present. At the same time, though, you know, you want to be wary and you want to recognize if you're attracting the same scenario. And if you're attracting the same scenario, then maybe you just need to do some more work on that to release it. You need to find the blessings in the situation, let go of the hurt, release that. And once you release that, you then open the cosmic door for love to come in. All right. You also need to look after your overall well-being during this time. So there's a lot going on there. Venus is retrograde in this area of your chart, which indicates that it's a old situation. If you have like a, what I call, you know, like a stress point, you know, my knees aren't great. And so when I get stressed or I do something, it like comes out of my knee. So if you've got like a stress point, it can come back at this point for you to relook at and to say, well, what can I do to do the right thing by my body? Do I need to change my diet? Do I need to exercise more? Do I need to drink my water? Do I need to make an appointment with the doctor? Whatever it is, okay? And so that's, you know, good time to just pay attention to that. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.